Now, I'm going to guess here that you haven't heard of Project Esther. Think of Project 2025 as like the first chapter, just sort of an outline. And much like it wasn't passed through Congress to make it law, they have been taking the steps to complete Project 2025 and will do the same with Project Esther. Now, this gets a little bit scary, so buckle up. Now, one of the things mentioned in Project Esther is the sterilization of female babies so that when they are of age and qualify through a sort of assessments, they can then select the correct genes and then incubate and grow a baby in the lab for them. Remember, only if you qualify. For the wives, well, now your husband owns you. You have become his property. He's going to tell you how to wear your hair, how to dress, and you can't have a bank account unless he says you can, in which he has to give you permission, go to the bank. And so really it's not your bank account. It's the bank account he's allowing you to keep your, allowance in. Don't quote me on that part. That's just my take on it. And don't worry, women, we're not the only ones being targeted. So is the LGBTQIA plus community, as they state on their website, there is no need for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have no doubt that Americans of all backgrounds will gravitate toward Project Esther because it is righteous and reflects American values. What are those American values? Anything that aligns with the Bible. And in case you were concerned about what religion you should be, don't worry, there will be one religion and one religion only, and if you don't follow those biblical alignments, you're out. Well, how will they know if you don't align with those biblical values? The American Heritage Foundation also extensively cites Canary Mission, a website dedicated to doxing and smearing pro-Palestine students. But it's not just students. Here's the website. Now, in the search bar, you can already see that it's offering you ideas to search for a professor, a student, or a medical professional. They're even asking that you help contribute to this website. We investigate hatred across the North American political spectrum, including far-right, far-left, and anti-Israel activists. Now, what would an anti-Israel activist or far-left, far-right look like? It could look like one of these people that they've already mentioned in Project Esther as the Hamas caucus. And they've mentioned people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and even Bernie Sanders, who is, by the way, Jewish, and they even state that it's inexplicable how he could be anti-Semitic. And don't worry, they even mention the Klan, yes, the Klan, on the website within Project Esther. The Klan, always generating revenue through membership dues and business sales, became much more organized over time. However, it was never a major target of concerted action by the federal government. In fact, by all accounts, the Klan petered out mostly due to the Great Depression and its followers' inability to pay for membership. Well, luckily for us, we won't have to pay for this one. Now, what could it look like for you if you don't agree with this? Well, you'll no longer have access to a U.S. Open Society. Think about that one for a minute. You'll no longer have access to the economy. Do you know what that means? You can no longer buy or sell if you're not in alignment. And it doesn't just affect us. It also targets those here on a foreign student visa. Access to campus lost and or denied. Not accepted by the schools. Won't be able to raise money. This is something else I want you to pay attention to. It's on the website. Here's a screenshot. This quote right here. Right here. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Now, that was a quote by Martin. I'm not going to say the last name because I'll butcher it. This fella, right here. He made that quote. Now, if you go look at him and dive into him, it speaks volumes why they included that quote. He was someone who went against the regime, the idea of it. And so he was put into Dachau concentration camp in Germany. And then once the war ended, he was just simply moved to another camp. And before I forget, one more detail. Why was it named Project Esther? Well, it's after Queen Esther. She saves her people, brings about the downfall of their enemy, and elevates her kinsmen to the highest position in the kingdom. What does that sound like to you?